So howdy y'all. We're gonna work on the pony motor. Dad just couldn't help himself. He had to tear into this pony motor. He's been waiting for this engine thing for a long time. He loves the engines. So stay tuned. We got the carburetor off of here. I was able to find one that's a newer version of this on eBay. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. Hopefully it'll work out, at least for parts. This one's pretty gummed up inside here. I have a rebuild kit, but I think I might be able to clean this one up. Carburetor's right there. Magneto goes here. Dad's already tore it off. We'd like to get it in the vise today, spin it around and see if we can get some spark out of it. Model RC2H. I've got new points. I might need to get a new condenser also. And we're going to take a look at this cap here too. If it's still good, we can shine it up and kind of revive this Bakelite plastic. Cleaner's getting super anxious to get into this thing. I'm going to pull this plug out over here, and that should give us a view of the timing mark so that you can set the timing when you put your magneto in here. You need to get lined up. Should be a mark on one of those teeth to correspond with that magneto. Right here is where the water travels into the water jacket in the head of the machine. Go back just a smidge. Hold it right there. Oh, there it is. It's a C. Right on that tooth.
So that says spark cylinder number 1. And there's the mark that I found right there. See it move on that arrow right there?
Yep. And then where's the one on the gear?
It's down here.
The cleaner's taking the front cover off of there. I guess you would call that a distributor cap. I'm not quite sure. Fairly clean in there. Doesn't look terrible.
Ain't bad.
Definitely need to make a gasket.
It's dirty.
Yeah, very dirty, but it's dry, which is not a terrible sign.
There's the points.
I've got new points for it.
Are they breaking? You have to turn it. You're on the gear.
Yep.
I think they're supposed to be at 20 thousandths. They're breaking.
Yeah. Here's our new kit for the wires, and they just pull right out of there. You got kind of a crimped connector right there. And they didn't have a boot over this, so well, this one should just pull right out. Yeah, just like so. And I think we can, I've looked online with this Bakelite, there's ways to actually revive this. So we could either revive it or just scuff it up with some paper and paint it. Because it originally looks like it did have some yellow on it. Dad's taking the ground off, so that's what grounds the system out and won't let it spark to the spark plugs. And that goes over to this switch, which is over by the pony motor controls, and it's in that bracket there for where you change the throttle and everything and choke. And when you switch this to off, it grounds out the system. But I think we can clean this up. I'd like to clean this up and use it because this is a really cool, and it has the Eisman logo up there at the top. Here's a new set of points for it. eBay. That's where I got those. So Dad's checking the in-play on the crankshaft for the pony motor with a pair of calipers there. Right now he's got it pushed in all the way. Dad just pulled the crankshaft out, all of the in-play in that. And he's getting a measurement on there.
11 thousandths. And I had 12 over here. When I rotated it before.
You're somewhere in between 11 and 12.
Yeah. Probably if you average it, probably about 13 thousandths in play here, back and forth.
We very fortunately found a reprint of the original manual for these magnetos as the maintenance and repair manual. Also found one for that case 4-bottom plow that we got. I have to have books for everything, but I never look at them. I just tear right into it. And the only time I look at them is if I have a problem, which is because I tear into it and I have a problem, you know. He's got the oil fill breather over here off, and he's working on the back of this governor here.
I think it should move freer than that. It's
yeah.
That spring won't even return it.
Yeah, that should be.
This is a new experience for me. Don't have any experience with one of these guys.
Grandpa and I rebuilt the one on that number 12.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's the bigger motor, though. I think it's the 15.
Yeah, and it was a 6-cylinder. I was pretty little. I remember doing it.
Have a head gasket?
No. Head gaskets are $40 at Caterpillar. $45.
But you can get them.
I think.
We may be able to save this one.
I mean, do we want to pull the head off?
I think let's pull a head and inspect it, if nothing else.
This governor's not in terrible shape. Everything's free in there.
This arm isn't.
It just needs taken apart and probably shined up. Because that spring won't actuate it.
No.
I don't know. I unscrewed the little petcock out of the bottom.
Yeah, and it's all plugged up.
I don't know.
I really think we should pull it apart.
We're really having a decision time. We were hoping that this pony motor might be the one thing that we don't need to go whole hog into. But
these heads are really easy. I mean, there's nothing there.
And I can get the head gaskets. All right, let's take it apart. You're itching too anyway, I can tell. You're already on it. Surprised there's not a lock washer under it.
No.
None of them.
It's loose.
Well, we got 2 brand new ones in Cosmoline from Squatch. Hate to open up those ones in Cosmoline.
We're not going to open those.
I'd rather not. It'd be really too cool to display.
I don't want to mar it or get a screwdriver against it or something. I just got to work it.
This is like rebuilding a whole new tractor in itself. Whole new tractor engine.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's copper.
Yeah, and see our water ports are kind of plugged up. That's plugged up. I think it would be prudent to at least remove these and clean things up.
Yeah, they are pretty gross. And
there's even a wheat kernel in there.
Oh, look at that. You can tell what area of the country they were in. Clean the valves up. Yeah, probably. Every time we do this.
I'm going to center punch that this is number 2 cylinder.
No.
I knew that would get your attention.
No. You know, that cylinder don't have any scores or anything in there.
No, look here, I got a clean rag here.
Looks really good, actually.
Here, let me wipe it out and we'll take a peek.
I don't see the bunch of corrosion like we were used to.
No.
I mean, there's a little bit, but...
It looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think...
Pull that piston up here. I'll wipe the top of that piston off.
It gets up on compression.
Yeah, I think we got a good pony motor.
I do too. The in-play's not bad. It's just dirty. These ports are full of mud. This had water, I'm assuming, in here too, since the whole machine was full of good antifreeze when we got it.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody tried to preserve it and take care of it. I think that it would have been a very overwhelming task.
Clean them valve seats up, though, look.
Yeah. Well, let's take the top of this off, and we can get into it. And I mean, we're this far.
Yeah.
There's just a few more bolts to take out, and we can get it out of here and fix it. Clean it. I think our pony motor is going to be good. This doesn't have a ton of wear on it.
No lot of cleaning, man.
I know somebody who does it. We'll have to call in the cleaner. This is Grandpa's homemade extension. That's not Harbor Freight Factory. Grandpa has better welds than Harbor Freight.
That extension he made is heavier than the whole other rest of the stand.
Yes.
What I think we're just binding a little bit.
Yeah, because we're not lifted straight.
Yeah, there. What I need's another bar. There you go. I think you'll be clear now.
Can't give you one until you pass the bar exam.
Here, go ahead.
There it goes. I got it. Where do we want to put it? On this side of the bench over here?
Yeah.
Or you want to take it over in your cleaner tank and clean it up?
We'll put it over here.
All right.
Let it hang there for the time being.
Oh. This is kind of a special gasket we're going to have issues finding.
Look, it's got a little channel through here.
Yeah. But they got copper here.
That's for the...
It's got like for exhaust manifold gasket. Ooh. Oh, buddy, we shouldn't have took this apart, maybe. The cam don't look too bad.
No.
Nothing looks terrible in this, actually. For once.
It even looks pretty clean, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, this had good oil in it. Really nice oil. I don't know. I don't know. I feel really pretty good about this, actually. If we get it cleaned up, this gasket might be an issue. Intake and exhaust manifold all in one. The plan now is to spin this around and get the head off the other side. It's just dirty in there. It doesn't look terrible at all. And I think we'll take this off of here too. So I can get that seal. I got a new seal to put in it anyway. I'm going to try to get this head gasket off of here very gently and save it.
There we go.
Alright, you going to go stamp that with an L?
No, 2.
2. Please don't. I'm going to try and save this gasket here.
Now remember, there's channels here and there anyway, so that don't close up.
Be nice to clean all this up. The thing's just kind of a glutton for punishment out there, sticking out like it does.
Yeah, it is. Get broke or something.
Be easy to get broke, or it's just pot metal. Gonna take this off. I know this one's probably toast. Squatch gave us some new ones, so we're definitely gonna use it. And there's that one. That one's even cleaner than the other side was.
Is it?
Yeah, not bad at all. This tractor was pretty well maintained.
To a certain day.
Yeah, and then it was just neglected. 6F4201. So Dad just cleaned this up, and that piston is marked 1. So you don't need to stamp this piston.
I'm just teasing it. And it's also, it says it's a standard.
So it's not been rebuilt.
Yeah. We might be able to...
We're going to try and salvage it. I think we can put some thick silicone on it, maybe. I don't know. I might see if I can find one. I'm not very hopeful. Relieved that we actually took this apart. It was really plugged up with mud and muck, and it wasn't uncommon for people to take ditch water and just throw it in the cooling system if they were running a little bit low, and that was nearby. I remember my granddad had a John Deere A. We ended up putting a new head on, but somebody had done that, dumped a bucket full of ditch water in there, and actually had vegetation growing inside of it. It plugged up the whole system. And I'm getting this cover off of here because I do want to replace this seal. We'd like to get inside of there and clean that crankcase out really good too. That doesn't look terrible. It really doesn't. At all. It's not grooved where the seal was. Hardly at all. Little bit. Not bad though. Valve that's stuck. You can see there the the cam lobe's not touching it. And let me spray a little stuff in there to...
Here, use this stuff.
I don't want to get any dirt under it. Alright. Yeah, she's stuck.
Gonna need a little more than that.
There it goes.
Remember our lesson on the belt pulley.
Yeah.
Just take it apart and we'll clean everything up. We know what we got. See, we already found a stuck valve.
Yeah.
And we can lap the valves. They're fine. They just need cleaned up.
I agree. I think that's where we're at. Mail just showed up, and I got a, I don't know if it's a new old stock or rebuilt carburetor. This is the one I found online on eBay. And I really do think that with just a few parts changes, I've got some good parts that I can put on the one for 4G. It was a really smoking deal, honestly. What do you got going on over here?
I'm trying to get these heads mucked out. They've got a lot of stuff in the cooling part. They're completely plugged. The petcock drain holes were, I had to literally drill those out. They were full of carbon and just solidly packed. I got them free now.
That's good. So, in hindsight, we did what we learned earlier, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it needed taken apart. These heads were all plugged up, the cooling system. They wouldn't have cooled good at all.
Yeah, tried to save the gasket on the bottom of the pony motor. It's pretty much shot, and there's a lot of muck inside there where that water passage goes through here. So next I'm going to go ahead and take this all apart because it's got to come off anyway. I've got the camshaft, the C on the camshaft gear, and this main crank gear lined up. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this camshaft out of here. I'm probably doing this completely wrong, but the book says to compress this spring with a screwdriver and pull the keeper out right there, which we just did, and the valve should come out. There we go. Okay, I got it. Go ahead. All right, there's our camshaft for the pony motor. This is cylinder number 2. This is, I think, the exhaust. Yeah, exhaust. Yeah, this lifter doesn't have a lot of wear. It's pretty good shape. I got the lifter out. According to the book, I can release this spring with a screwdriver and pull the keeper out, which I did. That valve should come out of there now. And the keeper for number 1 intake has gotten spun around upside down, so I'm going to see if I can turn it. There you go. There we go, see?
Did it come?
Yeah, that one for the intake, it came right out of there. Those valves look really pretty good. So they do come out as a whole pack.
Yeah, and then
you take the keepers.
You just push it down with your valve spring machine and take the keepers out.
Yes. I've got all the keepers off. We managed to get that valve pack out. I got this one spun back around where I can get a handle on it, but all of these are frozen in there, and this one I'm having some difficulty getting that keeper up out of there. So I'm trying to think of a way I can kind of yank on it with a slide hammer or a bar or something. Been doing a little poking and prodding off camera, and I got this valve pack to shoot out of this one, and this is number 1 exhaust, so it's definitely filthy in there. We definitely needed to take this apart and clean it up. I'm going to try like I did on this last one, and I just kind of pressed it. And it just shot right out of there. Yeah, kind of like that. So that's number 2 exhaust. Really, they don't look terrible. We'll clean them up. This last keeper here, we're really having kind of a troublesome time trying to get that out of there. It was wedged upside down and spun around, and so I'm going to try and release this. Dad's going to try the Farmer Fits-Alls, the AKA Vice Grip.
It should go that way, right?
Yeah, it should come straight up out of there, but alright,
Pretty
you're
much.
released. Yeah, it don't want to come out. So Dad just took this outside and flushed it out with water real good through all the passages for water. They were plugged up solid.
Yeah, it had a lot of mud in it, literally mud.
Yeah, so it's good. And
they're open now.
Everything's open. So
of course, there's scale in there, but at least it's open. Get some good antifreeze running through it, it'll be fine.
Finally got it out of there. Took a lot of hammering and chiseling. I did actually find some new old stock ones on eBay, and I went ahead and snagged them just in case. And I could probably reuse this one, but it was bent. Something was off because it was not letting that thing budge. Now I need to get that valve pack out of there and I'll be set. Got her. Even caught it. And this is the one that had the, I think the valve was open, but you know, the seat looks good. Honestly, it looks really pretty good. Do we need to get the pistons out of there to do this, you think?
It probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, we're this far, that's all that's left.
Yeah.
That's all that's left.
I guess so. We could do that and clean everything really good. We're there. Might as well.
And
there's the valves. Got those out of here. Shouldn't have any trouble lapping those. Once we get them taken apart, I can put them in here, get some lapping compound in here. Of course, we got to clean all this up first, which is going to be a tidy job in itself, but still up for debate whether we're going to take these pistons out of here. And we've gone this far. It's not that much more of a stretch to do it. There is some minor corrosion in that cylinder, but it's not terrible. There's a rough spot. I don't know if you can see it right there. There's a little rough spot up to the top right there. And number 2's got a little bit down here in the bottom. Nothing I don't think will clean up. It's pretty shiny in there. Not terrible shape. And this engine didn't have much in play. So we're going to leave it right here. We're going to think about whether we're going to pull the pistons out of here or not. But it's been a long day. I do want to thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.